Good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to call to order the first remote hearing of the 2021 iteration of the House Commerce Committee, which to my mind is one of the best committees in the House, both because of its broad jurisdiction and its great culture, and more on both of those things in a minute. But first, let's get to know everyone on the committee. A new feature this year of our committee life in the remote world is that we have to do a roll call at the start of the hearing so we can publicly establish who's in attendance and that we have a quorum. And the request that I will make to the committee is that if you arrive late to the committee hearing, please wait until it's appropriate. Don't interrupt a testifier, and then unmute and announce yourself so that we know that you are here. To start today, because we're all new to one another, as the committee legislative assistant calls your name, if you could please introduce yourself, the area you represent. I think we have two first term members. If you could just make a note of who your predecessor was on the first term members. And then could everyone please tell us that your favorite place to visit in your home district, just so that we can get a sense of, just have a little fun. That's what we like to do in the Commerce Committee. And so with that, Mr. Brown, if you could take the roll.
Chair Stevenson.
So I'm Zach Stevenson. I'm the chair of the committee. I represent Coon Rapids and Champlin in the Minnesota House. And my favorite place in my district is undoubtedly the Mississippi River, which flows between the two cities that I represent. It's a great place to cross-country ski, run, walk, or enjoy a nice float.
Vice Chair Cotiza-Wattoon.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carly Cotiza-Wattoon. I represent Eden Prairie, District 48B, and this is my second term on the Commerce Committee, and my favorite spot in Eden Prairie is one of the walking trails behind our home. So get out with the kids a lot, and we can walk between two of our favorite parks.
Representative O'Driscoll. Representative Barr.
Hi, Representative Barr, 31B, East Bethlehem Lake, Linwood Township, and Columbus. A couple of oddball precincts from Andover and Oak Grove also tossed into the mix. One of my favorite places to visit in my district is Smokey's, barbecue joint. Home, he does his own barbecuing, his own sauces, and everything else. Everything's done on site.
Representative Carlson.
Hi, everybody. State Representative Andrew Carlson, District 50B, which is in Bloomington, includes the Mall of America, which, of course, is one of my favorite places to visit. Also, just across the street, as you may or may not know, is the Minnesota Wildlife Refuge. Great place to get away, get some fresh air, see some wildlife. Wonderful place to visit. So come on down to Bloomington. We'll show you around. Good to see you all.
Representative Elkins.
I'm Steve Elkins. I also live in Bloomington. My district also includes parts of Edina, Minnetonka, and Eden Prairie. And my favorite place in my district is the Highland Park, Bush Lake, Normandale Lake Park Complex. Bryant Lake Regional Park is also in my district. And kayaking, cross-country skiing this time of the year, it's a great place to get outdoors.
Representative Haley.
Good afternoon. I represent 21A, which is Red Wing, Lake City, Cannon Falls, and Wabasha and Goodhue. This time of year, favorite things to do and come down and visit my district is skiing at Welch Village. We also have a ton of cross-country ski trails, and if you're into biking and the fat tire biking in the winter, you can do that here. And we still have areas of Lake Pepin that are plowed for family ice skating. So come on down and enjoy the winter.
Representative Cagle.
Hi, I'm Representative Erin Cagle. I represent District 37A, which is Blaine, Coon Rapids, and Spring Lake Park. A couple of my favorite places, Torque Brewery. They have some really great beers and always have, when you're able to have fun live music, and the owners are great and engage everybody. And then Old Paper Inn, which has the best tater tots and seasoned sour cream I've ever had.
Representative Lee.
Good afternoon, everyone. Representative Fu Lee, House District 59A, which is in North Minneapolis. A place I like to visit in my district is Victory Memorial Drive, celebrating the service of our World War I vets. And in addition to that, similar to Representative Barr, I also have a barbecue joint called Firebox Barbecue that's 2 blocks away from my house. And so if you're ever in North Minneapolis, let me know and we could go grab a meal. Thank you.
Representative Lilly.
Good afternoon, everyone. Representative Leon Lilly, represent 3 cities in the East Metro, North St. Paul, Maplewood, and Oakdale. And I like to get outside myself and get on the water and every aspect of it if we can. And I love hearing all this talk. It almost sounds like you're on on our legacy committee, but happy to be on the committee.
Representative Liz Lagarde.
Hi there, welcome everyone. I represent 6B, that's the core part of the Iron Range. And if you see behind me that picture, that is the quarry, and it's at Giants Ridge. It's the #1 public golf course in the state of Minnesota. I believe it's still in the top 20 or top 25 in the whole nation. And the picture right next to it, that is a former pit. And ironically, the #1 golf course in the state of Minnesota is that pit. So I'm very, very proud of what we've accomplished and what we bring to the table, and I'm excited to be on this committee. And stop at Vice for pizza. It's really good there too.
Representative Lucero.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I am Eric Lucero. I am going into my 4th term in the legislature. This is my first time with the privilege of serving on the Commerce Committee, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. In terms of my own personal background, I do cybersecurity for a living, as Leon, Representative Lilly there, we discussed in and Chair Lee, we discussed in the previous committee. But in addition to that, I am a licensed real estate agent and a licensed general contractor as part of being a small business owner. So there are several regulated industries in Minnesota that I personally deal with, in addition to most of my constituents as well. The favorite place to be in my district, I would say I love food. Any place that there is a good place to eat is definitely one of my favorite for sure. And then as I was listening to the various committee members, I don't know, Representative Katiza-Watun and Representative Elkins, who have Eden Prairie, I don't know if I ever told you before, but I used to work as an animal control officer in Eden Prairie. And then Representative Cagle, I don't know if you're aware, I graduated from Spring Lake Park High School. So I definitely know your districts well, and definitely it's a great area. So thank you so much, and I definitely look forward to this great committee.
Representative Olson.
Hello, everyone. I'm Representative Liz Olson. I represent the central and west parts of Duluth, and I'm serving my 3rd term in the legislature, and this is my first time on Commerce. I represent one of the districts I think a lot of people vacation to, so I have a lot of favorite spots, but I will choose the beach, Lake Superior. It doesn't matter if you're there in January or June. It's always a good day to go to Lake Superior, and then finishing that off with one of the tasty beverages that's made from that fresh cold water.
Representative Farr.
Hi, Brian Farr, House District 20A. First time just newly elected to the legislature. Bob Vogel had the seat before me. I believe he was on this committee as well. So excited to be here. Favorite place, there are many of them in the district, but Euphoric Brewery in Blakely, Minnesota is I highly recommend trying what they have to offer. Thanks.
Representative Rasmussen.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jordan Rasmussen, and my predecessor is Representative Bud Nornis. I represent 11 towns and cities in Otter Tail County. And if you were to come and visit my district, I would definitely take you to both of our state parks we have up there. They're beautiful year-round.
Representative Richardson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ruth Richardson. I represent House District 52B, which includes Mendota Heights and Brick Grove Heights, Sunfish Lake, and Egan. We have some great trails here that are always great to get out at. And I will also do a shout out to the Vikings training facility. It's a great place to visit if you get a chance.
Representative Tice.
Hi, I'm from the St. Cloud area. So it's 14A. I have the west and south part of St. Cloud, Wade Park, St. Augusta. So we've got, well, you can either do the granite or you can do the river. Either one is great fun. Go to the quarries. It's a blast in the summer. Or you can go to like Munsinger Gardens right on the banks of the Mississippi and you look over across to St. Cloud State University. But I think one of the best, and I think Representative O'Driscoll would agree with me, one of the best places to eat is the House of Pizza. Absolutely phenomenal. They have 3 locations, one in Sortel. That's my commercial for the day.
Sorry, Representative Davney, I had already marked you here as present. So if you want to introduce yourself, that would be great.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Good afternoon, Representative Jim Davney. I represent District 63A, which is part of South Minneapolis. Have not served on the Commerce Committee for several terms now. I'm excited to be back and I appreciate the opportunity. As for places to visit in my district, I live just a few blocks off of the only gorge along the entire Mississippi River from Lake Itasca to the Gulf of Mexico. And it's a great place to hike for me and the dog. So just a few miles south from the chair. Thank you.
Great. And I will go back to Representative O'Driscoll, who I believe has joined us.
Try this again. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. Tim O'Driscoll, representing parts of central Minnesota that Tamatice and Representative Olgamont do not represent. And have been on the Commerce Committee for a number of years, have a background in a lot of the regulated industries that this committee has oversight on. And one of the things that I really like in my district is I have a lot of up and coming artists, and I will commission them from time to time to do different local scenes. And I'll show you something that I had one of the students do. She was 18, just graduated from high school this past year. Let me put it into perspective here. Some of you may recognize that facility. It's our Minnesota State Capitol. And the gal who did that, her name was Emily Domries, and she is going to school at St. Olaf this year. And I've known Emily and her family for a number of years, and she loves the performing arts, as do I. And so Emily's a good friend. And so I said, Emily, you're an artist. I need you to help me out. And so that's the latest piece of art that I've commissioned to have done for my district, from someone in my district. Sometimes it's things in my district. Sometimes it's people in my district doing things in elsewhere, which is what she did. So that's my story. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Representative O'Driscoll, and thank you to all members of the committee for sharing a little bit about your districts. I felt like we learned a lot. I feel like if Representative Lee's bonding committee gets to do bonding tours of the state, the takeaway from the last few minutes is that we should have a food tour of the Commerce Committee districts sometime this summer. Seems like there, in particular, there's a lot of great barbecue options, which I am very excited about exploring.
And probably a brewery tour too.
Yeah, sure. Beer and barbecue, that's a pretty good combination.
Mr. Chair, the minority party endorses that idea. So if you need any help, we've got enough votes to get it across the line for you here.
We are already finding consensus on the Commerce Committee. We're 10 minutes in. This is excellent. Well, it's probably self-evident, but a quorum is present. I mentioned earlier that in my view, this is one of the best committees in the House. And with respect to all the many other committee chairs on the committee, I think one of the reasons why we have the great committee is that we have phenomenal staff, the best staff in the House. And let's have them introduce themselves, starting with our House researcher, Lori Pompou.
Hi, everyone. I'm Laurie Pompou. I am the House research person for this committee. I've worked here, this will be my 7th session. And so I must enjoy our topics of interest, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you very much. And then new this year for returning members, we are a fiscal committee. And so we have a fiscal analyst, Solveig Beckel.
Hello, yes, my name is Solveig Beckel and I'm the fiscal analyst for this committee. I've covered originally the jobs area for 2 years now, and this is my 3rd year with the legislature.
Returning also to the committee is our Republican researcher, Chelsea Olson.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Olson. I am the Republican researcher for this committee, and I have been on commerce since 2015.
And also our DFL researcher, Eric Anderson.
Hi, everybody. Eric Anderson, DFL Research, started with this committee in 2019. And just to jump on the bandwagon, favorite thing about my neighborhood is the Minnesota Zoo, and my favorite restaurant is Simply Pho. So everybody should come down and enjoy those two.
Zoo and pho sound like another good combination. We also have a returning committee legislative assistant. You already heard his voice, but Simon, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, my name is Simon Brown. I am the Committee Legislative Assistant for Commerce. Many of you know me already. I was the CLA for Commerce under Representative Halverson last session as well. And I've been at the House for about a year and a half. Before that, I was in school at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities.
And then last but most important, our wonderful committee administrator, new to the commerce world, phenomenal asset to our team, Addie Miller.
Thank you. What a glowing review. I appreciate it. Addie Miller from Watertown, Minnesota and Carver County. I am in my this will be my second session, first one with the Commerce Committee, and I was previously with the Higher Education and Environment Policy Committee. So good to see you all again and looking forward to this session.
Great. Now that we have at least put a name to every face in our little Zoom box here, I want to speak for just a few minutes about the committee's jurisdiction and the way we're going to operate this year. As I mentioned at the outset, we have a great jurisdiction and a great culture in this committee. Our jurisdiction is very broad. And as a consequence, I expect that we will take a little longer on overview hearings than the average committee here at the outset as we try to explore some of the significant areas that we take a leading role in. So I expect that the first couple of weeks will largely be driven by overview hearings as we hear from some of the key players in those various industries and areas. From a cultural perspective, the Commerce Committee has a very long tradition of collaboration. If you've come here for bomb throwing and trench warfare, you are in the wrong place. We have an expectation that stakeholders will work together to try and achieve consensus. It's not always achievable, but that is the goal. And that's been the case under past years of this committee, whether they were Republican or Democrat, and it will continue to be the case under my chairman. To this end, I'm also going to continue the tradition of not formally adopting committee rules at this time, though I'm going to reserve the option of revisiting that if should become necessary in the future. It is my very strong hope that it won't be. But to that end, a few requests that I would make of committee members. The committee will not, at least for the beginning, have a 24-hour rule for amendments. But because we are in a virtual format where people are not able to jump up and testify about an amendment at the last minute, I would ask committee members, if at all possible, to get their amendments in well in advance of the hearing in order to give community members notice and the opportunity to participate and testify. I think that's really important in an age where people can't be in the room. If committee members want to be recognized during the hearing, please use the raise hand feature in the Zoom, which you can find down in the reactions tab down at the bottom of your screen, or text our very capable CA Addie Miller. We will be keeping the record open after every hearing for 24 hours to allow for written testimony to be submitted in case something comes up at the last second. So stakeholders should be aware of that. Written testimony, whether it's received before the start of the hearing or after the fact, will be emailed out directly to committee members by the committee administrator. And so we're hoping that several stakeholders will choose to deliver testimony in written form this year. And if you submit your written testimony before the hearing, we will email it out before the hearing, just to be clear about that. So with that, we'll get to our first overview hearing that we're going to do this biennium, and that is for the Department of Commerce. which of course we have both policy and fiscal jurisdiction over. Our testifier today is the Commissioner of the Department of Commerce, Grace Arnold, and I am very happy to turn the floor over to her at this time.
Everyone, Chair Stevens and all the members. I am hoping that Megan, yep, I see our presentation coming up. So I'm excited to be here to give you an overview of the Commerce Department. I will note that I got several new places to for my list of either skiing or biking. My family, mostly the rest of my family are big bikers. So it was fun to listen to the intros. So I'm thank you for adding to my list of Minnesota districts to visit to either ski or bike. So I'm joined today by Peter Brickwetty, who's our Assistant Commissioner for Government and External Affairs, and Megan Verdeja, who's our Director of Government Affairs. I think most of you have probably interacted with them at some point, but if you haven't, they're wonderful and are great support to me as we are working with you all through this time. So I'm going to go ahead and give an overview of the department. So I think we get questions at the state fair, and probably often people come by and ask if we do things with, business development or things like that. So commerce, despite its name of commerce, actually is largely a regulatory role, and we protect Minnesotans every day in their financial transactions. And financial transactions is pretty broad, so I'll get to that a little bit later. We evaluate and investigate services, and we advocate for consumers and to make sure that markets and for consumers that are fair, accessible, and affordable. We have a great leadership team. So I am serving in a temporary capacity since about September of last year. We have commissioners or assistant commissioners that are over each of our major areas of regulation, government and external affairs, and enforcement. So we have a really fantastic team, and you will get to know, I assume, many of us through the course of the session as we move or work on the variety of things that we're interested in and also that you are. All right. So here's where we get to the fun parts. So this is sort of the buckets that commerce works on. So we have financial institutions, that's banks, credit unions, and non-depository institutions. Insurance is health, auto, workers' comp, life, long-term care, the various kinds of insurance that you might purchase. Energy resources is both the state energy office and our advocacy or representation of the public interest in front of the Public Utilities Commission. Unclaimed property enforcement, telecommunications. I'm going to sort of buzz through these pretty quickly because I'll get to each of them later. Licensing licenses individuals and businesses to ranging from real estate to insurance agents and brokers, senior financial fraud, the Petro Fund, and we have a consumer support center. So, we have a really broad scope and interact with Minnesotans pretty much every day in what they do. So we interact both with Minnesotans in their capacity as consumers and Minnesotans who operate businesses. We, serve as part of our job is to protect consumers and to, make sure that they have a place to advocate for or redress wrongs that that may have happened through our regulated industries. We also have a fraud bureau that is charged with investigating insurance-related fraud. We examine financial institutions and insurance. So this is, in part to make sure that the institutions in Minnesota are sound and also to make sure that, so in insurance, that they can pay their claims, in banking, that, you know, they will be able to make good on the deposits that Minnesotans have. We license, I mentioned some of the professions that we license. We license over 250,000 professionals and businesses. Sounds like we have a couple folks who are licensed by the department on the committee. So you all have experienced that process. And we advocate for the public interest before regulatory bodies. And then have some state oversight over energy and telecommunications programs. In general, we're looking to have fair and equitable marketplaces. And we want to make sure that we're providing services to our regulated entities and provide a way for the public to, you know, sort of interact with those systems. So these are a few examples of where you would see the department. So this one has actually been one of the more fun ones because I didn't know much about this program before I took on the commissioner role. But our weights and measures staff is responsible for the longest serving consumer protection. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But if you fill up gas, you'll see a little Minnesota Department of Commerce sticker that says that, you know, a gallon is a gallon as pumped there. So you would see us there. Purchasing a home, we have a variety of places where you would interact, or at least Commerce would have been a part of the process. We oversee mortgage lenders. We also oversee the insurance industry. So when you would get insurance on your new home, we would be, you know, we would have evaluated that insurance. And so you see us there quite often if there were any energy efficiency improvements that had been made to the house, or that you chose when you signed up for your utility, that would be another part that Commerce had worked on. Rebuilding after a disaster, again, you know, the insurance portion of our work. If you had problems with your insurance, you would be able to contact our consumer support center or our enforcement area. And then finally, we're working to reduce energy consumption throughout the state. We have a few programs there, and so you would see the work that we do on your energy bill. All right. Megan, I think we skipped it. Yep, there we go. Okay, so this is not intended to favor one of our regulated industries over another, but this is a nice map to show that we have a statewide reach. Each little green dot is a bank under our supervision. So you can see that we are working with entities, you know, throughout the state, and we work probably in all of your districts with you know, some entity, whether that's a person that has a license, or a business, a financial institution, or an insurance company. So the first of our programs that I'll talk about is investigating financial exploitation, in particular against seniors and vulnerable adults. So these are all real examples of complaints that we've gotten, or questions that we've gotten as, you know, is this real? Is this some sort of scam? So does my granddaughter really need $1,000 wired to her? We've seen that. This one is really unfortunate for the person, but one of my personal favorites is, does the guy who works on an oil rig really love me? So that individual was soliciting money. And then, did I win the lottery? So, you know, in cases where it seems suspicious that maybe the person didn't win the lottery, or maybe they're person who works on an oil rig and has never seen them, doesn't actually love them, but just wants to take money from them, we would be able to investigate that. So we have a senior financial fraud program that specifically focuses on seniors. I think that many of us are kind of aware of seniors being vulnerable to fraud and scams, but COVID-19 is, you know, has added another layer of that. It's isolated many people, and a lot more of our interactions are digital. And so, you know, things that may have, you know, been easier to ferret out before are, you know, were more at risk. And so we've been monitoring that. There are social media and email scams and telephone scams. Those I think are probably, I would imagine most of us have gotten one of those. And then, the other ones that are difficult to deal with are family members or some sort of trusted source that's defrauding the individual. All right, so I don't need to do all of the talking for the department. I'm going to go ahead and let Marty talk about his role at the department.
I don't think that the sound is coming through. I think whoever has their screen shared needs to adjust their settings to share their sound. Otherwise, we won't hear Marty. And it would be in the Zoom menu where you're able to share sound.
Hi, I'm Marty Fleischacker, the Senior Financial Fraud Ombudsman at the Minnesota Department of Commerce. There's been a frightening increase in consumer fraud among our older, more vulnerable Minnesotans. Nationally, it's estimated that fraud losses are $50 billion a year. Our efforts at the Department of Commerce are to investigate senior financial exploitation and to identify and prevent senior fraud. We were given new tools under the 2020 revisions to the Safe Senior Act, which allows our department to work with more financial institutions, including banks, credit unions, financial advisors, investment advisors, and broker-dealers to put holds on funds or delay transactions when we suspect someone may be the victim of a scam. In the past, our only option had been to close the customer's account. I receive these suspected financial exploitation reports, and then we investigate and do our best to stop the fraud. The number of cases is overwhelming. That's why prevention is key. We do prevention outreach around the state, including virtual presentations. Studies show that when someone knows about a specific scam, they are significantly less likely to become a victim.
All right, so I think I had touched on all of the kind of investigative work, but one of the other things that Marty does that's I think gets a lot of really good feedback is that he's out around the state or virtually now talking about the various ways that someone might be able to spot a scam and be able to do something about it. All right, so I'm going to turn now to our financial institutions division. So this is the division that oversees banks, credit unions, and non-depository institutions. So we have a securities program that oversees 433 investment advisors and about 10,000 individuals. So 433 businesses are kind of, that's like the company level, and then the 10,000 are individuals. And investment advisors manage about $9.5 billion of Minnesotans' money. So being able to, have some oversight and make sure that money is being well taken care of, and that is, will be there when you expect it to, is a core function of the securities team's role. All right, so you saw the map earlier of our 219 state chartered banks. So those hold $53 billion in assets. So those are loans to consumers. This is, you have to kind of think about it in the opposite way of your own finances. So an asset to a bank is a loan to you. And then $45 billion in deposits for individuals. We have credit unions as well that have about $20 billion in assets. And we have recently had a number of conversions to state charters. So some there's federal regulation and state regulation of financial institutions. And we have seen an increase in our state companies sort of choosing to be under state regulation, which I think is a good testament to that team, and is something that now our team is absorbing to be able to have oversight over all of those. We have 1,500 depository institutions, and then our regulated mortgage companies generate about $23 billion in mortgages in 2020, and then they service another 90 billion. So, you know, we have a lot of oversight over a decent amount of, you know, assets for companies, and then also, you know, loans and deposits for individuals under the programs and financial institutions. Megan, you want to go to the next slide? All right, so I'm going to, again, turn it over to one of my team to describe what he does. So Mark is the director of our non-depositories, which he will explain what those are in this video.
Hi, I am Mark Hasty, the Director of Non-Depository Financial Institutions. Here at Commerce, we have a number of people who are subject matter experts in our industries. I am involved in leadership roles for a number of national regulator associations. There are three major reasons why these national associations are important. Number one, it allows us to be more efficient at what we do. Number two, we can adopt best practices from states around the country. And third, and most importantly, we can coordinate with multiple states for the oversight of large national corporations. Examples of these companies include Quicken Loans, PayPal, and SoFi Lending. State regulators are trying to do a better job of having network supervision to coordinate our regulation in both licensing and examinations. We have a seat at the table to drive forward how this network supervision will work, especially for the largest companies we regulate. I will end with one good example of our efforts. In 2021, we will be part of a pilot for a new initiative called One Company, One Exam for one of our largest mortgage companies.
And there are two things that I want to highlight from Mark's video. One is that we work really closely with our national organizations that sort of, for two reasons. One, it's better for businesses. We are able to provide businesses that operate across state lines a more streamlined regulatory process. And, you know, we don't want them to have a bunch of exams or have undue burden. In those cases, we want it to be as streamlined, but also as effective as possible. The other thing is that we are trying to be really careful about the way that we work and to be working with other states to kind of extend what we're able to do when we all come together. Particularly, you know, we're sort of a mid-sized state and we have about a mid-sized market. And so we are able to work, when we're able to work with our colleagues in other states, then we kind of, you know, get both better for for our regulated industries, but it sort of extends our ability to do our work, and is good because Minnesota has a great reputation in our national organization. So I think that speaks to the quality of the team that we have. So I'll now turn to the insurance division. So we do a couple of things in the insurance division. One is to make sure that the insurance carriers are able to pay their claims. So we review their finances to make sure that they, you know, if you come to them with a claim on your policy, that they have the money to be able to pay that claim. We also review the forms and rates to make sure that the policies are compliant with Minnesota law, that the rates are fair and reasonable, and that, you know, you're getting the value for your policy. We have oversight over health insurance, homeowners, auto, life, long-term care, and workers' compensation, and then a handful of others like crop hail, which I will be perfectly honest, had never heard of until I started working in the department. But you may have constituents that purchase crop hail, so we would we approve and review the forms and rates for that line of business too. All right, Megan. So a couple of other things that I want to highlight for the insurance division. We oversee the Minnesota Reinsurance Program, so that's the federal grant that we have to operate the reinsurance program that's in state statute. We license pharmacy benefit managers and oversee the business practices. We do quite a bit of work on health policy. That's my background, so is an area that I've worked on quite a bit, but is something that the department is involved in both in our national organizations and here in the state. We also, in a couple of cases, are the provider of last resort. So if there's unaffordable coverage, it's a little bit different by business line, and I won't get into that, but we have a few programs that are the provider of last resort. And then we're, continually monitoring our markets and making policy recommendations to make sure that we have stable marketplaces, fair marketplaces, and affordable marketplaces. All right, so our next division that I want to talk about is our enforcement division. This has sort of 4 pillars to it, or 4 portions. The first is the Consumer Service Center. So that's our, call line. It's the sort of first line that consumers would talk to if they had an issue with any of our regulated industries. I would say, we get complaints not just by consumers. We often get complaints by businesses or other insurance companies or financial institutions that are kind of keeping their own check on the market. And so, we have a pretty broad range of folks that we get information about the market from. So our second bucket in enforcement is civil investigations. We have a variety of teams that oversee the investigations for our different areas, and you'll get to meet one of our civil investigation division heads in a minute. We have criminal investigations, which is through our fraud bureau, and then market conduct examinations. That is an insurance tool that is sort of a check on the overall market and making sure that companies are compliant with Minnesota law. So in 2020, our Consumer Service Center responded to about 11,000 calls. We had about 11,000 calls in total to our enforcement team, and our Consumer Support Center took about 9,000 of those. And as I said, they're sort of the first line. So they sometimes people just have inquiries and they can help with the inquiries. And in some cases, they will, sort of see that there's a complaint or a potential for need for an investigation, and they will then hand it off to our civil investigations team. So our civil teams, we have real estate, mortgage, and title. We have our multi-industry team, which would be things, they're multi-industry, right? So they have a wide range of things that they do. But one of the things you would have seen last year is we took some action about in regard to toxic chemicals in toys. And so that's one example of something that would fall in under Commerce's jurisdiction and in that team. Insurance is, if you had a problem through your claims process or, otherwise have an insurance claim issue, that would be come to this team. And then securities. So I will let another member of the team speak for herself. And this is Jackie, who oversees our multi-industry team.
My name is Jacqueline Olson, and I am an audit director at the Minnesota Department of Commerce in their enforcement division. Enforcement work at Commerce involves contact on a day-to-day basis with businesses and consumers. We want to make sure that the market is fair, but we also want to protect Minnesotans from unscrupulous businesses and business practices. In addition to the enforcement actions that we take, we also help businesses and consumers understand the regulatory and legal requirements to operate in the industries that they care about. If there's an issue that may harm their liveliness or business, we want them to know about it. We want to raise red flags and educate the Minnesota, both consumers and businesses, to protect them, their families, and the businesses. For example, we've recently become aware of an increasing number of scams involving gold and bullion products and investment in gold. So we sent out a consumer alert to make sure that people are aware of what they should look like, so to make sure they're not losing their money. Another example that we're dealing with is toxic toys. We're trying to make a policy change to make sure that Commerce has the enforcement capabilities and the tools necessary to keep unsafe toys off the shelves and allow families to have better choices for their children when it comes to toys.
All right, and as we go through, you'll see that toxic toy change that we are looking to make. So the next part of our enforcement division that I'll talk about is our fraud bureau. This group looks into insurance-related fraud. They had about 3,600 cases in 2020, so they have quite a volume, and the prosecutions that they've been able to go after, they work closely with other law enforcement agencies, and were able to have an economic impact of just shy of $30 million in 2019. So market conduct is, I also mentioned, so this is a tool on the insurance side that, so one example of how a company might end up in a market conduct examination is that we would see a lot of civil investigations or a lot of complaints. So we would then take a deeper dive into their business practices to make sure that, as a company, or in some cases we look across a whole market, there are the companies are compliant with Minnesota law and are delivering on their promises to individuals who have purchased policies. All right, so weights and measures is a little different flavor because it's not overseeing a business, but it is overseeing sort of what you get what you paid for. So this was Minnesota's first consumer protection unit. It was established in 1885, which is, we've had the program going for quite some time. We test samples and for accuracy and correctness at gas stations, grocery stores, bulk plants, grain elevators, mines, terminals. So you can see this in work. So you can see when you fill up your gas, you'll see a little sticker just below or somewhere on the station terminal that will say that we've, verified that when you're pumping your gallon of gas, you're getting a gallon of gas. At the grocery store, you can also see that there is a little sticker on the scales at the deli. So, this is one that you can, once you know what to look for, you can really see where we're providing a service for you. All right, so licensing, as I mentioned before, we license about 250,000 professionals to do business in Minnesota. We have 24 license types. The most common ones are insurance, real estate, appraisal, and debt collection. We also approve about 2,000 continuing education courses each year. Unclaimed property is another program. So abandoned property can be turned over to the state, and then we hold that property and then have a method for returning that property to Minnesotans. We launched in October a new best-in-class system. So our online experience is a little bit smoother, and the back-end system is better too. So we're working to get used to that system, and we'll hopefully see the benefits of, you know, an improved ability to return that money to Minnesotans. Telecommunications, so we advocate for the public interest in front of the the Public Utilities Commission for landline and voice services, and operate the Telecommunications Access Minnesota, which allows Minnesota Relay. So if you're deaf, blind, or hard of hearing, you can place and receive phone calls. Energy resources. So most of the energy work we do will be out of this community's jurisdiction, but I did want to just briefly mention that we promote clean and reliable and affordable energy for Minnesota homes and businesses. And that the way we do that is to advocate on behalf of consumers and ratepayers at the Public Utilities Commission. We also have the state emergency energy planning and recovery plans. We operate the SIP program, which is aiming to reduce energy consumption and promote energy efficient buildings and modern technologies. We also operate the low-income heating assistance and weatherization programs. Those are particularly important this time of year as it's cold and you know, energy bills can go up. So we want to make sure that homes are weatherized and as energy efficient as possible. And then we have federal money to help folks with their energy bills. The Petro Fund is the last fund, or the last program that I'll talk about. This fund is if there are leaking petroleum storage tanks, then there is a mechanism to be able to remediate those. So there were about 550 abandoned underground petroleum storage tanks, and we've removed them from about 360 properties since 2004. So that provides a sort of environmental protection to be able to, you know, get rid of those old tanks when they're no longer in use. I want to touch briefly on the department's pandemic response. So we've been working with all of our regulated industries to sort of, in some cases, adjust the way we do things and they do things, but in many cases, make sure that Minnesotans are protected. So we have worked with our health insurance plans to waive copays and deductibles for COVID-19 testing and treatment. So the treatment one is the one that is somewhat unique in Minnesota, which is really, really great. We have state chartered banks and credit unions that we worked with to make sure that we had consumer trust in the system and that we were not in a situation of having a bank run or something like that. We've been working with the state's utilities to get voluntary, get them to voluntarily pause shutoffs so that, you know, we don't have, you know, some Minnesotans are struggling financially now, and we don't want people to lose heat, especially during the winter. So utilities have voluntarily stopped shutting consumers off. And we worked with the legislature to extend regulatory guidelines, to have some authority to extend guidelines and sort of make some operational changes to be able to, you know, kind of meet the demands or meet the needs of the current situation and make sure that we can be responsive and provide good service to all of our constituents. All right, so many of you hear complaints or questions from constituents, so I want to make sure that you have our contact information. I mentioned our Consumer Service Center. They're sort of our triaging entity, and then I've put our file a complaint website on as well that, you know, gets your complaint or your constituent's complaint into an online system that allows us to track it to completion. And then the last thing that I have for you is the contact information for Megan and Sergio, who are our government affairs team. You can contact them as you need, and they are super responsive and will if they haven't been in touch with you already, they probably will.
Thank you very much, Commissioner, for that very helpful presentation. We do have time in our committee hearing for some questions from members. And before we get to that, I do just want to clarify for committee members, and Commissioner Arnold alluded to this, but the energy portions of the Commerce Department are not, both from a policy and a budget perspective, are not within the jurisdiction of this committee. They are under Chair Long's energy committee, and that includes the Petro Fund. And so with that, I will recognize Representative Elkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have two questions unrelated. The first is in 2019, the legislature passed a bill regulating pharmacy benefit management companies. And it was supposed to be a rule making that, for example, would set out the reporting requirements. And that really hasn't progressed at all. And as a result, the PBMs, for example, have not been filing their required reports. I was wondering if we could get an update about, what is the timeline going to be for, conducting that rulemaking so that we can pin down those detailed requirements.
Commissioner.
Sure. So, Chair Stevenson and Representative Elkins, we took the first part of, we took an optional path on as part of the rulemaking, which was to have an advisory committee. That we had an advisory committee with meetings that started, now last February and went through, I think, August or so. They provided feedback and kind of helped us work through the various parts of the statute. So that part of rulemaking is complete. We're now working on turning that into the formal rulemaking process. We also have open for comment, and we can send this information to you. We've put in our first notice of rulemaking, and so we're open for comments now. So the second part of your question, I think, was about reporting. We did have the first round of transparency reports that were sent to the department, and those are posted on our website. So I think if you are interested in going into more detail, we can probably set something up, but that we do have at least a portion of the reporting public and on our website.
Representative Elkins.
Yeah, the second question, I had received a complaint from a constituent who has long-term care insurance, and it resonated because I had gone through exactly the same experience several years ago with my long-term care insurance as well, is that you sign up for long-term care insurance, you pay stable premiums for a decade or so, and all of a sudden there's a huge rate increase. And I remember that when I complained about my own personal situation, I was told that, yeah, well, we've been, trying to, increase all rate increases along the way, and they were never approved. And so finally we got our rate increase improved, and you're seeing this big bump all at once. And wondering if there's any insights into that, what I might tell a constituent who is, concerned about sudden large increases in long-term care premiums after having paid stable premiums for an extended period of years.
Commissioner Arnold.
Sure. Thank you, Chair Stevenson. I'm getting used to the feed, giving the. So
we all have to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chair Stevenson and Representative Elkins, I think the long-term care industry is one that has been a big focus, especially at our national association. It's sort of gone through an adjustment as, it was a new product in the 90s, and the industry and consumers have kind of learned about it. We in Minnesota, I think, do a good job of looking at long-term care rates. Other states just approve what companies submit. And so we have a bit more advocacy, or we have a little bit more of a role of an ability to, look at those and see what's reasonable. And so, that's no comfort, I'm sure, to someone who's seeing big rate increases. But, I feel a little bit better looking across the industry to see that, you know, I feel comfortable that we have a little bit more protection than some states do. And so, you know, in some sense, that's good. But you know, the industry has kind of readjusted, and a part of that has been rate increases. And, you know, if you want to know more about kind of how we approach that's longer conversation, but is something that we're aware of and we think a lot about. We want to make sure that we are, you know, we have solvent companies that can pay out on the claims, but that, you know, Minnesotans are protected and someone's asking questions.
Thank you,
Commissioner. Anything further?
Yeah, this is, I understand this is a very difficult product to underwrite because it has been in a state of flux. It's a relatively new product, but yeah, there has been a lot of churn in the industry. But thank you very much. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Representative O'Driscoll.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just 3 quick questions to the commissioner. The first one, do you also regulate cosmetology, correct? Is there anything that we need as an update from that on your from your department?
Commissioner Arnold.
Chair Stevenson and Representative O'Driscoll, we do not regulate cosmetology.
I'm sorry, I thought that was under your purview. I know that barbers are no longer under there, but the other 2 questions that I have is, you had mentioned about the large conversion in Minnesota from national banks to state chartered banks. Do you have any insight as to why that may be happening?
Commissioner Arnold.
Chair Stevenson and Representative O'Driscoll, you know, we've been working, so there are sort of things that happen at the federal level, but we've worked hard to be, to create a regulatory environment that is, you know, efficient and the credit unions feel like they have good oversight, but is responsive to their needs. And I think that's one of the things that that drove some of the conversions.
Representative O'Driscoll.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Commissioner Arnold, my last question is, you talked about the reinsurance program, and we know that that's been pretty successful. Can you tell me what the future of that might look like for Minnesotans who do have difficulty in the some of the markets of last resort and some of the different areas, and trying to help us keep those premiums in check for that very difficult group?
Commissioner Arnold.
So Chair Stevenson and Representative O'Driscoll, the program expires at the end of this calendar year. And so according to legislation, so there would need to be some legislative action to continue it. We have our grant waiver goes for another year. So, you know, I think your point about lowering Minnesotans' premiums is, you know, is well taken. I think, you know, we were one of the first states that had a reinsurance program. And so one of the things that I think will be part of the conversation is that, you know, as the market has kind of adjusted to the, you know, to a more stable market after the ACA, other states have used reinsurance either in combination or slightly different tools to lower premiums. And I think that it's worth a conversation about what an entire package would look like.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Commissioner Arnold, just a couple of follow-ups on that. Will the department be bringing forward, because you're right, the legislation does call for a sunset, but the grant waiver was for 5 years. Is the department going to be advocating for the extension in that 5th year as we continue to look at different options?
Commissioner Arnold.
So Representative Stevenson or Chair Stevenson and Representative O'Driscoll, I'm going to get it eventually.
You're doing great.
So,
you're doing well.
We, you know, that's part of that's a budget proposal. That would be a budget proposal. And we are not at a point where we're can talk about budget proposals yet.
Representative O'Driscoll.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I suspect, Commissioner, since we do have a finance jurisdiction at this point, we'll have some future conversations this biennium and this session on that. Thank you for your time and appreciate your work here with us today.
And Commissioner, as long as you don't call any of us senators, you'll be fine. Representative Lilly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Commissioner, for your work for the state of Minnesota. My question, I haven't been on this committee for a couple terms, but one of the things I've noticed that bothers me, and it sounded like you kind of mentioned it in your overview, but when I go to the gas station and I pay my gas price at $2.63 And then there's always this 9. What do we have to do to get rid of that? Can you just do that, or on a piece of paperwork on a Thursday, or can you? Do we have to do legislation? It just seems like a problem that everybody could kind of get on board and fix pretty easy. I've been to other states, and it just seems like it might be time for that.
Commissioner Arnold.
Chair Stevenson and Representative Lilly, that's actually the first I've heard of that question. I've certainly noticed it, but it's the first time. I think that's probably not in our jurisdiction, but we can definitely follow up and let you know if it is as easy as some paperwork on Thursday.
Okay, thank you.
The chair would also be interested in knowing how easy it would be. I see Representative Elkins has a question. I just have one question before we go through or come back to you, Representative Elkins. Commissioner Arnold, I think it was in the news over the summer, and many of us maybe noticed in our driving insurance or car insurance premiums that because people are driving less, there were less claims on car insurance, and some providers provided voluntary premium rebates. And, I think a lot of people are kind of wondering if an analogous situation has occurred at all in the health insurance area, particularly with elective surgeries being on pause and other situations related to that. So I wonder if you could comment for the committee as to just sort of the general state of the health insurance industry in light of the pandemic.
Sure. So Chair Stevenson thinks that's a really good question. So one of the features of the Affordable Care Act was something called a medical loss ratio rebate, which means that if claims are too low compared to premiums, that consumers get money back. One of the things that we've worked with carriers on under some federal guidance is allowing them to advance those rebates if they know that they're going to, likely pay a rebate. Then over the summer, we worked with several carriers to advance those rebates and review them and approve them. So, there's sort of a feature built into the health insurance marketplace that kind of corrects for that. But we've tried to be as flexible as possible to make sure that, we're kind of getting the benefits earlier rather than, in September of next year.
I think that's particularly important work given the financial strain that everyone is under right now. So thank you for your work on that, and let us know if there are ways that we can be helpful in that respect. Representative Elkins.
Yeah, it's not a question, but I know the answer to Representative Lilly's question.
Oh, let's hear it.
The custom of ending prices in 9-cent increments was instituted by Woolworths about a century ago in the early days of mechanical cash registers. And they were afraid that the clerks were taking money and not ringing up the sale. So by ending the prices in 9 cents, it required the clerk to open the cash register to give change.
Well, that is fascinating. I think, though, that Representative Lilly was asking about the 9/10 of a cent.
I think it just went from there. That was the logical extension.
Like it's a penny cheaper than it actually is. And I agree with Representative Lilly that it's obnoxious that they try and trick us into thinking it's a penny cheaper. Representative O'Driscoll.
That's not on the final, is it?
8 very careful notes, Representative O'Driscoll.
Bingo card.
Any other questions from committee members? Seeing none, thank you very much, Commissioner Arnold, for being here today. We look forward to working with you throughout this session, particularly once we get the governor's budget and have a chance to talk about the budget of the Department of Commerce. And thank you, members and staff, for surviving through our first committee hearing of 2021. I look forward to number 2 tomorrow, when we will be discussing the insurance industry in greater detail, as well as being visited by the Attorney General. So until then, the committee is adjourned.